Right now, the US dollar is steadily losing its buying power, and the Japanese yen has been crashing to crisis lows. If you hold cash in a major global fiat currency, your wealth is quietly leaking away. When global markets get this volatile, high net worth investors historically execute the exact same playbook. They panic sell and run straight to the default safe haven. They buy the Swiss franc. While Western central banks like the US Federal Reserve have been scrambling to manage inflation with wild fluctuating interest rates, Switzerland remains a predictable, boring island of economic stability. But with trust eroding in both the dollar and the euro, you have to ask yourself, is the Swiss franc really the only functional equivalent to digital gold left on the table? In this environment, your choice of sovereign currency determines whether your liquidity maintains its purchasing power or slowly dissolves alongside the dollar. There is a challenger, one that is quietly outperforming the euro, the pound, and nearly every major Asian currency, the Singapore dollar. Bank of America recently published an institutional thesis on this. They looked at the data and concluded the Singapore dollar is undergoing a structural process they call Swissification. This split screen chart covers the past 10 years of currency action. On the left, you see the erratic downward chops of the dollar and the yen. On the right, you see the smooth upward climb of the Swiss franc and the Singapore dollar moving in near lockup. Look at the actual math on this, zoomed in section. Back in 2016, you needed 1.45 Singapore dollars to buy a single US dollar. Today, that number has dropped to roughly 1.26. The Singapore currency is steadily getting stronger. The question is whether this surge is a temporary emerging market blip, or if Singapore actually has the mechanical foundation to rival Switzerland permanently. Singapore's economic stability is engineered by a highly disciplined, unconventional central bank, the Monetary Authority of Singapore, or mass standard central banks like the European Central Bank attempt to manage their economies primarily by raising or cutting domestic interest rates. MAS does exactly the opposite. As this diagram illustrates, they lock in the exchange rate as their primary policy tool, and to make that work, they have to completely abandon control over their domestic interest rates. They manage what's called the SNER. It is a trade-weighted basket of foreign currencies strictly contained within a designated policy band. When global prices heat up, MAS simply tilts that policy band upward. This allows the Singapore dollar to appreciate, which instantly makes all their imported goods cheaper. The result? Core inflation stays practically frozen at 1 to 2%. There is a severe trade-off here. By fixing the exchange rate, Singapore forces its domestic borrowing costs and local mortgages to be highly sensitive to the US Federal Reserve's interest rate shifts. Singapore made a calculated choice. They traded away their domestic interest rate sovereignty in exchange for ironclad currency purchasing power. Let's compare the underlying fundamentals objectively. Here is how the Singapore dollar scores against the Swiss franc. First, sovereign credit ratings. Both nations hold the coveted perfect AAA status. Second, international wealth. Both nations possess massive net international investment surpluses. They are global creditors. Third, behavior during global crisis. When global equities panic, both currencies act as defensive shields, absorbing capital flight and appreciating. The inherent downside to this parallel is growth. Because both are deeply established safe havens, neither offers the explosive high-yield returns you would expect from a developing market. On a macroeconomic institutional level, the Singapore dollar is functionally behaving as an identical twin to the Swiss franc. Before you convert all your cash into Singapore dollars, you need to understand the hidden mathematical penalty of holding a constantly appreciating currency. This chart breaks down a concept called currency drag, which actively masks your foreign equity gains. Let's assume your US-based S&P 500 ETF gains 10% in US dollars. Well, that looks great. But if the Singapore dollar simultaneously gains 6% against the US dollar over that same period, your actual realized return, once you convert that money back to your local SGD account, is heavily eroded down to just 4%. This dynamic also penalizes local export businesses. If a company earns weaker foreign revenue abroad, but pays its overhead in strong Singapore dollars, they face an immediate margin squeeze. The exact mechanic that makes the SGD an elite wealth preserver actively cannibalizes the nominal yields of your global investments. So, how do you actually apply this to your portfolio? It depends entirely on where you fit in the market. This matrix evaluates your options based on capital location and your primary financial goals. If you are a high net worth or risk-averse individual, you are a wealth preserver. The STG is the perfect vehicle for you to lock in ironclad purchasing power. If you own a regional business, you are an operator. You need to be cautious. Heavy SGD exposure will squeeze your profit margins against weaker regional currencies. If you are an aggressive equity investor focused on high returns, you are a yield chaser. You should avoid using SG as your base currency, or you risk dragging down your foreign equity gains. The Singapore dollar acts as a reliable floor for preserving wealth, but it creates a persistent drag on those seeking high-octane capital growth. The data points all lead to the same conclusion. The Singapore dollar has legitimately earned its title as the true Asian Swiss franc. This strength is the direct result of decades of disciplined, unconventional central banking that most global powers cannot replicate. We are in an era of global fiat volatility. Treating your currency exposure as a passive afterthought is now a major portfolio risk. Audit your exposure. Are you holding SGD? Are you sticking with the Swiss franc? Or are you watching from the sidelines? Let me know in the comments below. And if this breakdown helped you rethink your portfolio, hit subscribe.